Director Reese Frake Waterfield was shooting the horror sequel Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2, out March 26th, in London last year when the filmmaker was hit with the realization that his life had taken a turn for the strange. "We have a big set piece at the end of the film which involves a kind of underground rave," says the Brit filmmaker. "I remember turning up on that day, and we've got 80 people all dancing, having a good time, and then, out from the curtain, comes Winnie the Pooh with a big bat and a bear trap, and then chaos ensues. I do remember thinking, this is absolutely mental." Scott Jeffrey produced the film with Frake Waterfield and also plays the role of Pooh's former friend Christopher Robin under his acting nom de plume of Scott Chambers. For Jeffrey, the strangest moment of the Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 shoot came while filming a scene inside a car when his character is menaced by the movie's titular bear, who is wielding a chainsaw. As the actor-producer recalls, "I'm inside the car, and a chainsaw that is on fire is bursting through the car, and the camera crew is telling me, 'Go on, Scott, get closer to the chainsaw, get a bit closer.' And I was just thinking, what the hell is going on?" It is a question that could be asked more generally about the slew of recent and upcoming horror movies that have taken beloved childhood icons and repurposed them as movie monsters. That list includes not one but two retellings of the Cinderella story, Cinderella's Revenge, out April 26th, and Cinderella's Curse, release date TBD, and a slasher movie starring a certain famous fictional rodent titled Mickey's Mousetrap, which will be released later this year. The latter is directed by Toronto-based filmmaker Jamie Bailey, who has taken advantage of the fact that the 1928 short Steamboat Willie, which features the first appearance of Mickey, fell into the public domain at the start of this year. Frake Waterfield wrote and directed Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey on an initial budget of just £20,000, which allowed for neither stars nor much in the way of special effects, with the actor playing Pooh forced to wear a simple mask and what the British filmmaker describes with a laugh as literally a pair of cleaning gloves. Despite the project's small-scale nature, the director was careful only to include elements and characters found in Milne's original book and nothing added by Disney in the subsequent animated films featuring Pooh, such as the cartoon bear's red shirt. In the film's title, Frake Waterfield even kept the character's name hyphenated, as had been the case in Milne's book, to make clear that he was not infringing on Disney's copyright. As the director says, "It's such an easy thing to overlook, the hyphens, but they are very important." Jeff Wadlow is the director and co-writer of the Blumhouse-produced film Imaginary, out this Friday, about a supernaturally powered evil teddy bear. Asked about the appeal of combining a toy with terror in this fashion, the director can barely answer between chuckles. "I mean, ruining people's childhoods is so much fun. Are you kidding me?" he says. "There's so much twisty evil fun you can have with this notion of taking something that was innocent and precious for large groups of people and showing how it can be sinister and manipulated and how it might not be what they thought it was. It's so fertile and juicy." The success of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey once again proved the appeal of blending cuddly icons with violent mayhem while also showing how filmmakers could repurpose hugely famous, just out of copyright characters without being sued. When writer-actor Simon Phillips first approached Mickey's Mousetrap director Jamie Bailey about making a movie in which Phillips would play a homicidal version of Walt Disney's most famous creation, the filmmaker was all ears, appropriately enough, for the moment. Jeffrey and Frake Waterfield's bear-based movie empire shows no sign of going into hibernation. Made for a much larger budget than its predecessor, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 boasts effects by the prosthetic studio, whose founder Sean Harrison was responsible for Ralph Fiennes' Voldemort makeup in the Happy Potter movies, and a cast that includes 4 weddings and a funeral actor Simon Cowell. Frake Waterfield is very excited for everyone to see it. "I feel like there's a big jump up in the quality of the film, the performances, the story, the gore, the creatures, everything." The sequel also features the debut appearance in the horror series of Pooh's pal Tigger, who entered the public domain this year. Frake Waterfield says there has been no shortage of suggestions from fans about which beloved characters they would like to see turned into monsters further down the line. "They're like, we need Roo, we need Kanga, we need all these characters," explains the director. "And part of me is thinking like, FING hell? Like, most horror films have one villain. Am I going to have 7 in the third film?"